There is something profoundly different about you lately, something that your person has begun to notice with increasing intensity. A shift has occurred within you, a transformation so complete and so magnetic that it has fundamentally altered the way they perceive you. The energy that surrounds you now is unlike anything they have encountered before. It is powerful, luminous, and utterly captivating. Where once they may have seen you through familiar eyes, they now find themselves mesmerized by a presence that seems to radiate from the very core of your being. This change within you has awakened something deep inside them, something they perhaps did not even know was sleeping. You have become more than simply attractive to them. You have become irresistible in ways that transcend the physical realm entirely. There is an aura about you now, an almost ethereal quality that draws them in like a moth to flame. They cannot look away. They cannot stop thinking about you. Your transformation has unlocked chambers within their heart that had long remained sealed, revealing emotions and desires they had forgotten they possessed. As they observe this new version of you from whatever distance currently exists between you, they find themselves constantly revisiting memories of what you once shared together. The connection you had was special, unlike anything they had experienced with anyone else, and now they are consumed by a deep and urgent longing to reclaim that bond. They want desperately to win back your trust, to rebuild the bridge that once connected your souls, to rekindle the flame that once burned so brightly between you. But this desire is not without its complications. Beneath their yearning lies a thick layer of tension, uncertainty, and fear. They have become acutely aware that things have fundamentally changed between you. They sense that you no longer see them through the same lens you once did. Your perception of them has shifted, evolved, perhaps even hardened in certain ways. There is a worry that gnaws at them constantly, a growing fear that whispers in the quiet moments of their day. They wonder if your trust in them has diminished, if it has faded into something unrecognizable, or if perhaps it has vanished altogether, leaving nothing but empty space where confidence once resided. The uncertainty of not knowing where they stand with you weighs upon them like a heavy stone. Are you still emotionally available to them, they wonder, or have you closed that door completely? Have you moved on entirely, finding peace and fulfillment in a life that no longer includes them? These questions haunt them because despite the silence that currently stretches between you, despite the lack of communication and the absence of clear signs, they still feel profoundly connected to you. The bond has not broken, at least not from their perspective. It has merely gone quiet, like a song that continues to play just beneath the threshold of hearing. They think about you far more often than they would ever willingly admit to anyone, perhaps even to themselves. Your presence lingers in their consciousness like a persistent melody that refuses to fade. They wonder constantly whether you too can feel the unspoken energy that still flows between you, whether you too sense the invisible threads that continue to bind your souls together even in silence. Do you think of them, they wonder? Do you feel the pull? Do you recognize that what exists between you has not truly ended, but has merely transformed into something quieter, something that exists beneath the surface of your daily lives? One aspect of your transformation that has struck them with particular force is the maturity you have developed. You are no longer the person they remember from before. You have evolved in ways that command respect and admiration. There is a new depth to you now, a quality that was perhaps always there but has only recently been fully realized. You carry yourself with a quiet confidence that radiates strength and self-assurance. You have stepped fully into your power, and it shows in everything you do, everything you say, and everything you choose not to tolerate any longer. You have outgrown the emotional cycles that once kept you trapped in patterns that did not serve your highest good. The low vibrational energies that used to pull you down no longer have any hold over you. You have released them completely, and in doing so, you have freed yourself to rise to heights you never before thought possible. You are no longer available for drama, for inconsistency, for half-hearted efforts, or for anything that drains your precious energy. You have learned to protect your peace fiercely, and you have created boundaries that honor your worth without apology or explanation. This transformation of yours, this stepping into authenticity and power, has only served to make you more attractive in their eyes, even if they feel somewhat conflicted about it. From whatever distance separates you now, they observe your growth with a mixture of inspiration and intimidation. They see your positivity, your unwavering self-respect, and the firm boundaries you have established, and they understand that the entire dynamic between you has fundamentally shifted. Where once they may have taken your presence in their life for granted, assuming you would always be there regardless of how they behaved, they now see you as someone irreplaceable, someone unforgettable, someone whose absence creates a void that nothing and no one else can fill. Your energy continues to linger in their mind long after you have left their presence, whether physically or simply in thought. They find themselves comparing others to you, holding up every new person they encounter against the standard you have set. And inevitably, time after time, no one measures up. No one possesses your unique combination of qualities. No one makes them feel the way you do. You are, in their eyes, their ultimate match, their perfect counterpart, the person they were always meant to find. And slowly but surely, they are coming to realize this truth with increasing clarity and certainty. Even though the two of you may not be in active communication at this moment, even though messages may not be exchanged and conversations may not be happening, the energetic bond between you has not disappeared. If anything, it has grown stronger, more intense, more undeniable. There is a silent understanding that passes between your souls, a mutual sense of admiration and spiritual support that continues to flow back and forth regardless of physical distance or verbal silence. Whether through dreams that feel too vivid to be coincidental, through random thoughts that seem to arrive from nowhere, or through emotional waves that wash over you unexpectedly, your energies remain synchronized on some fundamental level. You might not speak, but your souls are in constant conversation. They feel each other across whatever distance separates them. Your person desperately wants to bridge the gap that has formed between you. They want to shatter the silence that has become increasingly unbearable with each passing day. They want to reach out, to clear away the misunderstandings that may have accumulated like dust on a forgotten shelf, to bring light and clarity to everything that has been left unsaid for far too long. They are actively considering sending a message, finding some way to open up a line of communication, because the weight of continued silence has become too heavy to bear. They feel as though they have waited long enough, that the time for action has arrived. And yet, even as they contemplate reaching out, they understand that if they do come forward, it must be done with complete honesty, genuine humility, and a sincere willingness to take full accountability for the past. They cannot hide behind ego anymore. They cannot allow fear to dictate their actions. The old patterns of avoidance and deflection will no longer work, not with the person you have become. They know that if they want any chance of rebuilding what was lost, they must show up differently, more authentically, more courageously than ever before. One thing has become absolutely certain in their mind and heart. They do not see a future that includes anyone else. In their eyes, in their soul, in the deepest part of their being, you are the person they were destined to find. No matter how much time passes, no matter how far apart you may find yourselves physically or emotionally, no one else captures their heart the way you do. No one else speaks to their soul with the same clarity and resonance. And with each day that passes, it becomes clearer to them that their feelings for you have not faded with time or distance. Instead, those feelings have deepened, matured, and grown more certain. What is perhaps most remarkable about this entire situation is how your own evolution has fundamentally shifted the way they perceive and value you. When you made the powerful decision to step back from the connection, when you stopped chasing them or trying to prove your worth to someone who was not fully appreciating it, when you began the sacred work of embracing your true self without compromise or apology, that is precisely when the perception of you changed most dramatically. Your strength became undeniable. Your light became impossible to ignore. Your authenticity became a force that commanded respect. Your willingness to walk away from anything and everything that no longer aligned with your higher self, with your purpose, with your peace, made them respect you more than they ever had before. You demonstrated through your actions, not just your words, that you value yourself too highly to accept anything less than what you deserve. You stopped dimming your magnificent light for anyone, not for their comfort, not for their ego, not even to preserve a connection that was causing you more pain than joy. And now that you have fully reclaimed your power, now that you have remembered who you truly are, you shine with a brilliance that is almost blinding in its intensity. In truth, your person finds themselves completely captivated by this new version of you. They are simultaneously inspired and challenged by your transformation. It has forced them to look at themselves more honestly, to confront their own shortcomings, to recognize the ways they may have failed to show up fully when they had the chance. While fear and regret certainly linger within them, clouding their thoughts during vulnerable moments, there is also something else present. There is hope. Genuine, persistent, growing hope that perhaps it is not too late. Hope that maybe, just maybe, the connection between you can be revived, rebuilt, reimagined. But they understand that this revival cannot happen from a place of old patterns and familiar dysfunction. It cannot be built on the same foundation that crumbled before. Instead, it must emerge from a place of maturity, of mutual respect, of deep emotional truth and vulnerability. They know the path forward will not be easy. They understand that trust, once damaged or broken, must be rebuilt slowly and steadily, brick by careful brick. But more than anything, they want the chance to show up differently this time. They want to meet you where you are now, not where you used to be. Because the person you have become is not only someone they love deeply, but someone they profoundly admire. And if given the opportunity, if granted another chance, they are ready to fight for this connection with everything they have. They are ready to fight for you. Now, I want to speak directly to your heart for a moment. I know that right now, your mind might be telling you that you do not want to hear from me. Perhaps you have even convinced yourself quite thoroughly that shutting me out completely is the best way to protect your hard-won peace, to continue moving forward on your path, or to finally achieve the closure you believe you need. And I understand that perspective. I truly do. I understand why you might feel that way after everything that has transpired between us. But despite everything your rational mind is telling you, despite all the logical arguments you have constructed to keep me at a distance, I believe that your heart is still quietly searching. Somewhere beneath all the defenses and the walls and the determination to move on, your heart is looking for a sign, however small or subtle. It is searching for evidence that I still think about you, that I still care deeply, that I have not simply disappeared emotionally or spiritually from your life as though our connection meant nothing. So allow me to be completely honest with you now. Let me provide the answer that your heart may not dare to speak aloud, but is desperately yearning to know. Yes, my love, I am still here for you. More than that, I never truly left, not in the way that genuinely matters. My physical presence may have been distant at times. My communication may have been quiet or even confusing. But the connection I feel toward you, the bond that links my soul to yours, has not faded even slightly. If anything, it has grown stronger, deeper, more certain in this space of separation that has existed between us. No one else has ever made me feel the way you did, the way you still do. My heart has not found a home anywhere else, despite whatever attempts I may have made to move on or to fill the void you left behind. I have tried, I will admit that. I have buried myself in distractions of every kind. Work, social gatherings, new connections, conversations that felt hollow even as I engaged in them. But no matter where I go, no matter what I do, no matter how successfully I might distract myself temporarily, thoughts of you find me. They cling to the corners of my mind like persistent shadows. They wrap themselves around the edges of my soul and refuse to let go. You are the one person who never truly leaves my thoughts, even when everything around me is loud and demanding and full of noise. It is as though my entire being, every cell and fiber, is quietly, persistently, and completely fixated on you. And I have grown tired of fighting against it. I am tired of running from this truth. Truly, I am exhausted from the effort of pretending that I am okay, from the daily performance of convincing myself and others that I have moved on or that I should move on or that moving on is even possible. All I want now is peace, genuine and lasting peace. But not the kind of peace that comes from silence, from distance, from avoidance or resignation. I want the kind of peace that can only come from reconciliation with you. From healing the wounds that have festered between us. From understanding replacing confusion. From finally allowing ourselves to let down the walls that life and mistakes and fear have built so high between our hearts. At one point, I genuinely believed I could move forward without you in my life. I told myself repeatedly that time would eventually ease this ache that lives in my chest. I convinced myself that new people or new experiences or new chapters of life would gradually dull the intensity of what I felt for you. But that was nothing more than a lie I desperately tried to believe, because the truth was simply too painful to face head-on. The truth is that I cannot move on without you. More importantly, I do not want to. Not because I am weak or incapable of being alone or unable to survive without you. But because my heart still belongs with you. It always has. No one else makes me feel the way you do. No one else even comes remotely close to touching my soul the way you did. I know the waiting can be unbearable at times. I know it tests patience in ways that feel almost cruel. Sometimes it breeds frustration that boils over into anger or doubt that creeps in like fog. There are days when it feels like we are stuck in an endless loop of uncertainty, unsure of whether we are moving closer to each other with each passing moment or drifting further apart into separate futures. But even in that frustration, even during the most painful and seemingly endless silent stretches, I have chosen not to give up on you. My love for you is not something I can simply switch off like a light. It is not conditional on convenience, on time, on distance, or on ease. It is real, and it is enduring, and it is the most certain thing I know. And for that love, I am willing to wait as long as necessary. Still, I must acknowledge that I have made mistakes along this journey. Mistakes that may have shaken your trust in me to its very foundation. Mistakes that clouded your vision of who I am and what I feel. Mistakes that made you question everything you thought you knew about us, about our connection, about whether any of it was real. My actions, or perhaps my lack of clarity and consistent presence, put you in a place of doubt and inner conflict that you never deserved to experience. And for that, for causing you that pain and confusion, I am truly and deeply sorry. But I am asking you now, with as much sincerity as I can possibly express through these inadequate words, to try to look beyond the confusion that may still cloud your perception. Try to see past the fear that may be holding your heart hostage. Look beyond the assumptions or whatever illusions may be distorting the truth of what we genuinely share. If you can quiet your busy mind for even just a single moment, if you can set aside all the noise and analysis and overthinking, and simply let your heart speak its truth, I believe it will tell you what mine already knows with absolute certainty. That I adore you deeply, fully, and without reservation or condition. My love for you is not merely a memory or a nostalgic feeling from the past that I occasionally revisit with fondness. It is alive. It breathes within me every single day. It colors every experience I have and influences every decision I make. And it is actively longing for a future that includes you at the center of it. I am not reaching out to you now to reopen old wounds that have barely begun to heal. I am not here to stir up pain unnecessarily or to drag us both back through conflicts we have already endured. I am not here to pressure you or to ask for more than you are ready or able to give at this moment. I just want you to know, I need you to understand, that I am still here. My heart has not moved on to someone else. My love for you has not faded or diminished with the passage of time or the accumulation of distance between us. If anything, it has only become more certain, more grounded in truth, more real than it has ever been. And if there is even a small part of you that still wonders whether we could somehow find our way back to each other, if there is even the faintest flicker of hope still burning somewhere in your heart, then I want you to know that I see it. I honor it. I hold sacred space for it. I am not giving up on us, on what we could become together. I never have, and I never will. No matter how long it takes, no matter what obstacles we must overcome, I will be here. Patient, hopeful, faithful, and loving you still with everything I am. Your partner longs to be with you in every possible sense of that phrase. Not just emotionally, though the emotional connection they crave is profound. Not just physically, though they ache to be in your presence. But spiritually as well, and in every other meaningful way that two souls can unite. They want to share their entire life with you, to create a space where you both feel completely safe, deeply understood, and genuinely connected at the most fundamental level.